Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and I thought I'd talk about SOPA, mostly because you guys have asked me to. So, if you haven't heard of SOPA before, it stands for Stop Online Piracy Act. And right now it's being debated in the United States. It's a U.S. law, where, or it's a potential U.S. law, it's a U.S. bill, where they're trying to figure out if this is a good way to prevent online piracy. So, here's the deal. There really is a piracy problem. Now, a lot of people in their anti-piracy arguments say silly things like information wants to be free, or, the piracy isn't a problem, or, that in reality, piracy is not stealing, right? Oh, no, it's just making a copy. You still have your original. But, the truth is that companies are losing money because of piracy. Maybe not as much as they claim, but they really are losing money because people have a free alternative to their product. And, given a free alternative to buying, oftentimes people will go that route. So on one hand, or on one side of this issue, you have like the motion picture guys and maybe some software guys lining up in hopes of, shutting down or at least reducing piracy. At the very least, if you could make it a little bit harder, as it stands right now, it is incredibly easy to steal your movies, to steal your games, to do all that sort of thing. And if they can make it a little bit harder, then that would be to their advantage. On the other side of the issue, you have the tech companies lining up, and mostly because on the tech side, they have the burden of enforcing this thing. And that's one of the things that's new. That one of the things that people don't like about this is this sort of blunt instrument that they're creating is too strong, and they're getting people who can be innocent to enforce this. So, for example, if I'm an ISP, right, so you buy your internet connection from me, and along with access to the internet, you also get, say, a little website where you can put up stuff. Suddenly, I'm in charge of policing your website, whereas previously I wasn't. Previously, you were. Or like, say, Huppet Gaming, right? Huppet Gaming is a website that I own half of, and if the users on there start putting copyrighted information in our forums, then suddenly I'm responsible for things that my users are doing, whereas previously I wasn't. Now, you have to hold someone responsible, and it's a tricky thing because let's say I ran a website like Pirate Bay, which was all about my users putting copyrighted stuff on there, or in this case, links to copyrighted stuff. Then, look, let's not pretend that I'm some innocent site owner. But there's a couple of reasons that even if this passes, life will go on. And one of them is that companies or websites or what have you that make voluntary efforts to reduce copyright infringement are immune from these problems. So they're given immunity from prosecution, right? So that's a big deal. A company like YouTube, which does actually more than you might know if you don't upload content. YouTube automatically scans the audio for my videos, each and every one, and checks to see if if anything that I used is a copyrighted song. So if I were to make this to, whatever, Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar, it would notice that, and then it would, stop me from uploading it, or, it would make it a link to iTunes and make it impossible for me to monetize this video and that sort of thing. So YouTube, being a company that makes good faith effort to stop guys from stealing copyrighted stuff or pirating copyrighted stuff, I was out of bullets, they would be immune from this. People like me, I do what I do with the blessing of game developers. In general, they consider the sort of thing that I do to increase the level of interest in their game and to to help with sales, so they don't have a problem. If Activision wanted to stop me from posting this kind of content, then they could do it with or without SOPA. So there's not like a new level of exposure to, say, our little Call of Duty gaming community. There's not. We're already not allowed. This is copyrighted stuff that they allow us to post. Or they have agreements with Machinima they allow us to post, or in general, like if I were to grab a random game and start posting footage of it, they tend to view that as something that's promotional for them, and they don't prosecute. So there it is. So so what do I think about SOPA? I think it's too aggressive. I think that the kind of rules that they have, able to take down entire sites, being able to modify DNS, tables so that so that you can't even access my site. Like, so if my site is out of country, then suddenly, look at me playing the objective. If my site is out of the country, then suddenly you can still like hurt my site by making it so that the DNS tables don't allow you access to it. So yeah, they're doing some really aggressive things to prevent access to it. But on the other hand, there kind of is a necessary. Oh, another thing they're doing. I'm going to get to the on the other hand. The other thing they're doing is they're taking sites like the Pirate Bay and they're able to shut down their financing, right? So if you, like, say, make your money through PayPal, or if you make your money through Google Ads, then they're able to ruin your relationship, with the ad provider or with the payment provider, and hurt your website in another way. So these are aggressive ways that they're doing to take down the site that didn't. These are powers that they didn't have before. So back to my hands. On one hand, they're giving them a lot of powers that they didn't have before, powers that might be too much. It might be too easy to shut down a website just because you claim it's copyright infringement, or you claim that there's something you don't like about it. On the other hand, we have to give these guys some kind of power. Ooh, I got final standard. We have to give these guys some kind of power. We have to let them defend themselves. People who produce movies, people who produce the content that we love, they deserve to have a viable business model. And as it stands now, that they kind of don't. They're competing with the free version of their own games and movies and music. And as much as everybody loves to get their stuff for free, it isn't fair to them. And yeah, so that's where it stands. Something like SOPA needs to be done, but I worry that SOPA is too easy to be abused, and that's where I am after looking into this. All right, 2 videos you may have missed. The top one is actually a video to me from me. It's advice for the 15-year-old version of me. So I thought you guys might like that. I talk about some of the mistakes that I made and the warnings I would give myself if I could look back, if I could travel back in time and help myself out. The bottom one is getting started with game battles. I tell you guys how to get a team together and the first things you need to know, sort of the administrative work in getting a game battles team up and running. So I hope you guys like the videos and have a nice day.